2019 will officially, unofficially, be the biggest year in the history of Rocket League esports. Don't believe me? Well, screw yourself. Here's 5 reasons why it's going to happen, why this is the year that the game finally lives up to its mammoth, limitless potential. Lads, ladies, we Rocket Leaguers really are living in exciting times. Now let's find out why. So for what has seemed like millennia, our community has begged for meatier esports marketing, for better communication, and for Rocket League's front page to replace news about that week's crate with the super useful Live Now button for more tournaments. In Season 6 of the Rocket League Championship Series, or the RLCS, there was a shift in the right direction. For a start, the broadcasts themselves became more lighthearted, and way more entertaining as a result. Casters suddenly had room to breathe and to crack jokes, and to be honest, they shone. Then, before the last piece of Cloud9 blue confetti had been swept away, Psyonix expanded their esports team with 2 new members. First off was JC Gluck, better known as Gillyweed, already hosted the Rivals series, that's the tier below the RLCS, and an RLCS analyst. They snapped her up as a broadcast specialist. Now, do I know what a broadcast specialist is? Hell no I don't, but the point is Psyonix saw fit to expand their small esports team. More good news followed, with Ian Novakovsky, and Ian, if you're listening to this, I'm so sorry for that pronunciation, hired to bridge the gap really between Psyonix and the community at large. There was previously this massive divide between the developer, the casual fan, and the esports fanatic. They'd identified this issue in communications and swiftly invested in fixing it, while seeing fit to add to the wage bill of their esports team in general. Psyonix Ian has actually already worked on some content that was desperately missing in the Rocket League world, a window into the mindset of the pros. Check out his articles on Karma and Remco that we've linked in the description. The good news continued. A month after the RLCS came E-League. Subreddit dwellers were thrilled to see it get some love on Rocket League's homepage because we did it, Reddit! Woo! This esport was built from the top down, with the RLCS coming along in 2016 and inflating the scene before any other non-weekly tournaments had really been established. This is great for the Turbo Pulsars of this world, perching atop their golden thrones while having monster prize pools and LAN invites thrown like roses at their feet. But for the guys just below, mid-tier tournaments were sorely lacking. Their only hope has always been to pop off on Rival Series Qualification Day, grab one of the 4 open qualification spots in each region, then fight the odds to qualify for RLCS the season after. Miss out and you could go months without earning any money. Makes it really tough to call yourself a Rocket League pro. Get ready though for some good news. Introducing the Renegade Cup, a bunch of monthly tournaments that RLCS players and teams cannot enter, worth 5k each per region, per month, culminating in a 20k tournament in February. Each one sponsored by Psyonix, and is run by a different community organiser. Look how happy we all were when we were shipped to Berlin to cast Novembers. A ton of great players are now able to make some consistent cash in Rocket League, and advertise themselves to potential orgs ahead of 2019.
The Thunderdome!
Oh my... Breaks my ginger heart to say it, but the game's lost its luster in recent years. That's changing though, because Rocket League's becoming cool, arguably even hip and trendy again. Keemstar, I know, who was huge in making some game called Fortnite what it is today, has been tweeting about it a ton, and he's desperate to run some tourneys. The World Showdown of Esports, or WSOE, is running a super slick $100,000 LAN at the end of January. The quick chat is still a meme. TSM's Myth publicly loves Rocket League and he's like super famous and good at Fortnite. Motherfucking Machine hosted E-League on actual American TV channel TBS.
That Rocket League brain of yours, who is taking this one and why?
Long story short, the game is fashionable again. The community figureheads that helped the game grow seem to be once more taking notice. Except this time, it's not to flop around uselessly in the game themselves, it's to watch and admire the skill of those at the very top. Until the recent surge in positivity, some in the community had been fearing the worst for the esport for months, with bad news seemingly lingering like a cheap jump scare around every single corner. Top of the list of bad stuff, esports org items aren't yet in-game. That's DLC, allowing us to pimp our rides of skins from our favourite teams who get a cut from each sale. It's a pretty basic feature that tons of other esports already have.
It's a Cloud9 speed! Yeah!
Flipside Tactics have been part of the scene's furniture since 2015, but here's their owner being understandably, let's say, outspoken about the importance of in-org items. And here he is doing it again, and again, and again, and again, and again, and again, and fade out. The good news, though, is that everything's better now. Well, almost, kinda, sorta, nearly. Everything's nearly better now. Psyonix have confirmed these are finally coming in 2019, before the end of the next RLCS, whenever that is, we don't yet know. The full details haven't yet been made public, but things are looking bloody good from the outside. Tier 1 org TSM finally entered the scene in January, picking up RLCS bronze medalists and E-League victors and our mates, We Dem Girls. TSM are like the Man City of esports orgs. They are as big as it gets, and they finally bought into Rocket League. With the South American region set to join the RLCS from next season and shake that format up, it seems that long-term issues are being addressed, one by one. As somebody who was lucky enough to have front row seats in the crowd for that goal, I can confirm that live Rocket League is amazing. It's life-changing. But LANs have always been rare, especially in Europe, where the only 2018 majors we had were DreamHack Leipzig and RLCS Season 5. In NA, you had RLCS Season 6, Northern Arena, Faceit, and E-League. You could include the Gfinity Elite Series in the EU list, but that's kind of its own little bubble, so it doesn't really count in my opinion. Point is, there really weren't that many LANs. But this year, that number looks set to explode. First, DreamHack announced the DreamHack Pro Circuit. That's 4 new $100,000 LANs straight off the bat. 2 in EU, 2 in NA, all open qualification. We've also got the 100k WSOE to look forward to in January. Keems is desperate to get something going if his Twitter is to be believed, and all this is on top of what we had last year, although rumour has it we'll only have one RLCS, which will make it a true World Championships from here on out, so I'd say that's fair enough. We are barely into January, and these are just the events that we already know about. Who knows what's happening behind the scenes and what will be announced over the coming months, but if you're a fan of going to live Rocket League, this is a really, really exciting time. All we know at the moment is that this is in fact an exciting time for everybody in our little esport. If you've stuck with it, your patience may well be about to be rewarded. And if you've dipped out, no worries. Now would be a great time to jump back in. Just let us know in the comments if you have any questions about the game or the scene. Otherwise, post a comment saying what you want to see in 2019, which org should totally get involved in the game, or which countries deserve their very own LAN. Right. We're going to end this thing with a bad pun. You ready? Okay, let's go. This Tier 2 esport's about to get Tier 1er than a Mexican city. Subpar out. Play us out, the single most famous Rocket League goal of all time that we're shamelessly including in full to show you all how amazing this esport can be at its best. Bye!
Teleporter there, bounces into the corner, energy still around, Justin is there for the shot, and